Hey there, everyone. This is Dave DeBow with another episode of the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast. Today, it is my pleasure. This is a real treat to interview Mr. Charles Dobens, because Charles is not only an astute real estate investor himself, but he is a lawyer who focuses on multifamily properties. And anytime I can talk to a real estate lawyer for free is a good day. How are you doing today, Charles?
Wait a minute. We never said anything about free here, Dave. You're paying me back for this one. And first off, there are two words in the English language that when you're being introduced, you got to be careful about. First off is astute, because that, you never know what that really means, astute. The other one that I just heard was seasoned. He's a seasoned investor. You know what that means? It means you're over 50. Okay, so that's the only reason you use the word seasoned.
No wonder everybody keeps calling me seasoned. Then I tell you now.
I'm sorry to break it to you, pal, but welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
Awesome, Charles. So where are you calling in from today?
All right. Well, right now I'm in my New Hampshire office. I have an office down in Duxbury, Massachusetts as well, where I raised my family and everything. But during the weeks I come up here to New Hampshire, just really, as I say, because Donald Trump drove me out of Massachusetts, and he really did. But I know you are up in the 51st state. I know you guys.
We don't like being called that unless we say that ourselves. But yeah, we're up here in Canada, a lot of us.
Exactly. And so I am just next to Maine, which is also known of as Canada's Florida. So so that's that's where
actually, I think Florida is called Canada's Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
I know, and you can always tell the Canadians. You know how you tell the Canadians, David?
We say sorry a lot. That's one thing. There's
they're the only ones wearing Speedos.
That's the French Canadians, man.
That is true. That is true. And with a name like Dubois, hello.
Hey, I rock a Speedo.
I've never seen a seasoned guy rock a Speedo yet. Okay.
There you go. Well, I think I do.
It's like, hey, remember, I grew up here in Nashville, New Hampshire. It's half Canadian, half French Canadian, half Irish Catholic, and so I know all the language. I couldn't find my shoes, so I go up to my closet, and there they are, gone. So I know it all.
So Charles, tell us a little bit. How did you get involved in real estate? This whole crazy world of real estate in the first place.
Yeah, no kidding. I've always wanted to be in this space. When I got out of college, I took the path of least resistance, as I call it, and I went in the family business of insurance, which is. I've since found out that if anyone goes into insurance out of college, there's something very wrong with that child. So if you have one, just trust me.
I think that's what's gonna happen. But anyhow,
no, please go. Yeah, don't. No. What do they say? Friends don't let other friends drive drunk. Parents don't let children get in the insurance business. And so I got into that and did it for about 20 years. And then when I turned 40, I owned my own business. I owned a benefits administration firm. I had about 35 employees working for me. And I hated it. I hated life. I hated going into the office. As I say in my classes, and this, let me tell you, Dave, see how you feel about this. But I one time, off the cuff, made this statement, and I was shocked at the people's response when I said it. I said, the worst part of my week was Sunday night. Mm. Okay, now I thought that was a novel concept when I said it. And then I watched heads in the audience just start to bob up and down like, oh, we know what you mean. We know what you're talking about.
Dreading Monday morning, huh?
Dreading Monday, because it was always followed by Monday morning. And that was just the worst, because you went in and just got your head beat in. And I hated what I was doing. And I'm sure all of my employees hated what they were doing. And I know that for a fact, because when people would leave my company, would take back their computer and, just look on what their internet searches were. And back then, the number one internet search was monster.com. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I couldn't blame them. I hated that business too. And so ultimately I told my wife, I said, I can't do this anymore. I've got to get out of this business. She goes, what do you want to do? I said, I want to own real estate. I've always wanted to own apartments. And she says, let's do it. And so, as many people have heard me say, I burnt the ships. And I sold the business and I got out and I swore I would never do it again. And so that's when we started in the multifamily business, and we took off very quickly, and it's been fantastic. And what I do now is utilize my law degree to help my clients purchase property the right way, because believe me, I've made every mistake in the book when it comes to to buy property. And anyone that tells you they've done everything right is a liar and should not be trusted. Mm-hmm. So what I do now is I help my students go from the moment they speak to an owner or a broker, how to handle it the right way, all the way to the owning and operation of owning your own property management company. I counsel them every step of the way and make sure they do it correctly so they don't make any mistakes. Because I'll tell you, Dave, most of my clients are like you and me, and we don't have a whole lot of time left.
Hey.
No, I'm sorry, pal. I'm sorry to have to break it to you right here on your show, but I'm keeping it real, pal. I'm keeping it real.
Definitely too real, a little too real.
Exactly. Come on, go easy on me, would you please, Mr. Dobens? Yeah. So this is what I do now, and I every morning I wake up and I check my phone first thing, what's going on, what's happening, and it's
Mondays are a good day.
Right? Oh, Mondays are probably the best days of the week. Everybody's back. Now I get to talk to you. So yeah, it's great. I love it. Absolutely love it.
So Charles, the title you suggested for today's call was, how to own 1,000 apartments in 5 years. Now, obviously we can't go super in depth in that, but can you give us the 30, 40, 50, 60,000 foot perspective of how the heck you did that?
Okay. Well, here's the thing is, how I came up with that hook or that title was when I was doing, and I still do, my daily, I do a one-day training on Saturdays around the country. And to get to know the audience, to try to find out what was going on, I would ask everybody, where do you want to be in 5 years? And people would, I'd hear all the same answers, no matter where I went. I got the same answer. I want to make $10,000 a month passive income. I want to make $20,000 a month. I want to quit my job. I want to own, 150 units. And there was always someone there that said, I want to own 1,000 apartments in 5 years. And I'd stop at that person. I think, I love that drive, that vision. But I'd ask them, I said, so how do you do that? And, their answer would be like, I don't know. That's why I'm here, waiting for you to teach me. And so that's when I realized that there are so many people that have that as a vision, how to own 1,000 apartments for 5 years, that, I want to show them how to do it. And my answer to those people was, well, I'm going to show you how to do it. And it's not as hard as you think. And that's the beautiful thing of just building this business slow and steady and doing it the right way. And to get to 1,000 units, all you have to do this year is buy 20. That's all you got to do is buy 20 units. Go out and do it. And that's what I teach people. Because
snowball from there.
You snowball from there. It's just compounding the number of units. And as I tell people, I said, by the third year, you can quit your job. You will be making enough money as a property manager and other sources of revenue from your properties. You can quit your job and you make all your tuition payments, make all your mortgage payments, pay all your bills. You'll live very, very nicely. And, as I also tell them, the first 2 deals are the hardest deals. And once you do the first 2 deals, you'll be in this business and other people will know it. Deals will drop on your desk because they know you're a performer, and it'll just grow that quickly. So, and I've many students of mine do own over 1,000 apartments, just following that formula. So it's great.
Nice. Yeah. So Charles, what you're alluding to the fact that you've made a lot of mistakes yourself. You've been coaching, you've been training people. Besides the legal aspect, what would you say is, if you had to pick one big mistake you see people making over and over again when it comes to multifamily deals, what would it be?
Okay. All right. It's like you knew the answer to this question, and it was just like a segue into what you do. So the answer is that they treat this business like it's a one-legged stool. Like all they have to do is look for deals. No, as much as you look for deals, you got to look for money, and you've got to look. And I had a student on my podcast the other day, and and he's now helping people find money. And he said the easiest time to look for money is when you don't need it.
Yeah. Same best time to borrow money from a bank too, right?
Yeah, I know. Like right now, I don't need any money, but they're all beating down my door. It's like, I don't want to borrow money. I'll pay cash for everything. So yeah, but that's exactly, the way it works. And that to me is the biggest mistake that I see students making, is they're just treating this business like it's a one-legged stool. And also, you've got to look at it like, hey, we're building a business. This is not a one-off deal. In order to get to 1,000 units, it isn't just little old me sitting at the kitchen table. It's my staff and my vision and my plan and my systems for running the business to run 1,000 units. So that's how you do it.
All right, that makes sense.
Mm.
Now, another question I've got for you, because again, as you alluded to, I'm up in Canada, help people raise.
I didn't even allude to that, Dave. I flat out told them.
You said the 51st state, but we'll let you slide with that one.
Hey, do you still get mad when we make fun of your money?
Well, no, we can't really, because yours is worth 30% more than ours is.
Oh, wow. Okay, I wasn't looking at it that way.
Yeah,
But someone told me that Canadians get mad when we talk. We think that your money is like cartoon money with the colors and somebody made a very good point. Is, hey, one of the nice things about that type of currency is you can tell what bill it is just by looking.
Exactly. So it's not. We have a hard time with your money because at 20 looks the same.
Exactly. And the fact that it's 30% more valuable. So
there you go. We like it. We put up with it. We enjoy it. Anyhow, back to the question.
Yes.
So one of the big challenges I see with people trying to raise money up north here is a big mistake is they go after the general public when they're not really set to do that. They're not set up with a syndication. They're not licensed to do it. They're putting themselves at risk with up here in Canada, the Securities Commission. What would you say when it comes to raising capital for deals is one of the biggest mistakes you see people making when you're trying to raise money for apartment buildings down south?
First off, not treating it professionally. I see people going out there and, well, he's my brother. He's just going to, give me the money. I said, well, what documentation do you have for the deal? Well, he's my brother. I mean, yeah, handshake. Well, he's my brother. I'm not going to worry about it. It'll be fine. Listen, the problem is not going to be with your brother. The problem is going to be with your brother's widow's next husband.
Yeah.
You're going to be partners with him. Show me the deal. Show me what the contract says. And then when you put it that way in real life context, because, as they talk to the insurance business, the person you're speaking to is never the one that's going to die. It's always his partner that's the one that is going to die.
Right.
And so when you put it in that context, then they get the vision for why you need to cross your T's and dot the I's and get the documents correctly. So that's one of the mistakes I see people make, just winging it. Oh, I don't want
to. So there you go. Your insurance background has come in handy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Helping people understand why we do what we do. There's a lot of that. I've been training all my life for this, Dave. This is what I was meant to do, and it's all come together nicely. So
it sounds like you really hit the ground running very quickly. Tell us a little bit about that journey for yourself.
Yeah, it actually did happen that way. I've kind of got the training from different sources and got involved in it very quickly. Realized that this is really nothing more than a sales and marketing business. And having been in the insurance business, that was what I would do every day. Mm-hmm. You were constantly selling your offers. You have to get out there and make offers and sell your offers, and you don't make a sale until the owner says yes. And then you got a client. You could, just like in the insurance business. And so, early on, I knew that I had to make offers, and I was making offers every single week. And we met a broker, really nice woman. She's Eleanor. I think her name was Eleanor. And she said that, okay, I sat down with her. I told her what we were looking to do, and she's okay, I know what you're looking for. And when I find it, I'm going to call you. And when I call you, get your checkbook ready because you're going to be writing a check. Yeah, I know. How do you like that? That's a real broker. That's a real broker. Unlike these brokers today, but don't get me started. She went out, and 2 weeks later, she calls me up and says, I found it. I found your property. Come on out and see it and write a check. And so we went out and took a look at it, and it was a 40-unit Class A property up in Michigan, which is where we had a whole bevy of investors all ready to go. I thought, oh man, this is perfect. So we look at it, and we put the earnest money deposit down. We do everything we're supposed to do. I mean, we made tons of mistakes along the way. But we went through the whole process, and within the first 6 months of me selling my insurance business, I owned a 40-unit apartment complex.
Nice.
And then there was an 88-unit across the street owned by the same guy. The bank was, in cahoots, not in cahoots. Well, it feels like they're in cahoots, but they didn't like that owner. They were, trying to boot him. So they came to us because they liked my balance sheet, and they said, "Hey, would you be willing to buy that 88?" And I said, "Well, I have no more friends and I have no more family to put up the money, so I'm kind of tapped after my 40 unit." And they said, "Well, how much would you need?" I said, "I need about $750,000 to do this deal." And they said, "Well, what if we lent it to you?" And I was like, wait a minute, let me see if I understand this correctly. You're telling me you're going to do this deal 100% financing, and, we can buy this property? And the woman said, absolutely. So I said, hold on one second. I put the phone on my chest, as I said to my wife, who was a banker. I said, honey, they want to give us the 100% financing to do this deal. What should I tell them? And she said, ask them how quickly we can close. And so, within 9 months, I owned 128 units. And, mistakes were made. In hindsight, I would have done things entirely differently. But the fact is that I want people to glean from this is, unless you're making offers, this is nothing more than a very expensive hobby. You got to make offers. If I didn't make those offers, nobody would know that I'm in this business. So make the offers. You got to cut the wood.
Makes sense.
Yep.
All right. Like I told you at the beginning, buddy, the time flies by, which means we get the privilege, hopefully, of having another conversation with you a little further down the line.
Yeah,
But in the meantime, I know you're very active helping students and working with the investors that want to get into multifamily investing. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how people can find out more about you, and if you've got any free resources, anything like that for folks?
Yeah, if you go to my website, I got tons of free stuff. If you go on my YouTube channel, I tell people over 1,000 videos I've shot in this business. But go to multifamilyinvestingacademy.com. See how I happen to have this drop. And David, just so you people know, the beautiful thing about my business, as I say, is I can do it anywhere in the world. And so when I drop this, then you'll see that I'm actually sitting in a food court in a mall in New Jersey right now. And that's the nice thing about what we do. So the multifamilyinvestingacademy.com is my training program, my training course. I mean, the program that I sell and that I use to work with students is called the Owner Forum. Best group of people you can ever imagine. They're all friends. They all communicate. As I've been on the call here, I've been watching the chatter go back and forth among my students on Slack, and it's just a great group of people. And my job is to protect them and take them every step of the way through the transaction. So, yeah, that's. And so, if you're looking for freebies, go to my website and just sign on up, and you'll get tons of free stuff.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, very nice to meet you virtually, and thank you very much for your insights.
Well, hold on. Let me just say that just so the audience understands this backdrop, you told me that I'd have like 73 questions you're going to throw at me, and I thought it was going to be like that. My wife told me about the Vogue YouTube channel. Have you heard about this one?
No.
This is where Vogue shows up at a celebrity's house with a camera, handheld camera, does a tour of the celebrity's house and asks them like 73 questions, and it all happens within 5 minutes. And then they're done, they're out the door. And my wife says it's a great thing. So I thought, oh my gosh, Dave Dubois must have done the same concept. And now
do I look like the kind of guy that watches Vogue on YouTube? I'm sorry.
No, maybe you have a wife who tells you about it like I do.
Good times. Thank you very much, my friend, and thank you everybody for watching this week's episode. Take care.
Thank you, David. Been a blast.
Well, thanks very much for checking out the Property Profits podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head on over to iTunes, subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. Be very, very much appreciated. And if you're looking to create a regular flow of inbound investor inquiries about your real estate deals, then I invite you to attend one of my upcoming live online demonstrations. And you can check that out at investorattractiondemo.com. Take care.